Hi everybody, it's Pastor Nancy. I'm here today to tell you another story from this amazing book called the Bible. And the Bible is filled with stories that are all about God and God's people. The story I want to tell you today is one of my favorites, and it might be one that you already know too, because it's a really popular story. It's called the story of Noah and his ark. Once there was a guy whose name was Noah. And Noah was a really good guy, and God liked him a lot. So one day God came to Noah and God said, Noah, there is going to be a great big flood. Do you know what a flood is? A flood is when it rains so much that the water just gets higher and higher and higher. And God told Noah to get ready for this flood and to build a special boat called an ark. So Noah went ahead and he built that ark. He worked really hard on it. He had 3 sons that helped him. And they worked and they sawed wood and they put that ark together. And you know, while they were putting that ark together, people all around them started laughing. You know why they were laughing? Because they weren't anywhere near a bunch of water that they could put the boat in. It was dry land all around them. And they were like, Noah, what are you doing? Are you crazy? What are you building a boat for? What are you going to put it on? They didn't know what God had told Noah. So after Noah was finished building the ark, here's what he did. The ark was big enough that he could put every animal on the earth on it. Well, not every animal. Every kind of animal. 2 of each, in fact. So on the ark, he put a couple of, what are those? Yeah, lions. A boy lion and a girl lion. And he put them on the ark. And he also put a couple of these. What are those? Giraffes. Yeah, don't you just love giraffes? So he put some giraffes on the ark, 2 of those. And he put some, well, you know what those are? Zebras. He put 2 zebras on the ark. And then here's one that I know you like. He put 2 elephants on the ark. Let's see if we have room for the elephants on the ark here. There they go. The elephants are on the ark. And 2 doves on the ark. So put the doves on the ark. So Noah and his wife, Mrs. Noah, were all ready to go on the ark. And they went on the ark with some other people too. But you know, there were more animals than this. There was every kind of animal that you could think of on the ark. There were turtles, and there were raccoons, and worms, and, oh gosh, what other kinds of animals? And deer, and dogs, and cats, right? And what animals am I forgetting? And snails, and, oh, every kind of animal that you can imagine. They were all on there. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of them. And for each animal, he had 2, a boy and a girl of each kind. Yeah. So they're all on the ark, all the people and all the animals. And when they were all on there, God shut the door and they waited for it to rain. So they sat around and they waited, and before long, they heard thunder in the sky and the lightning was coming down and it started raining. It poured, and it poured all day long. Not just that, it poured for 2 days, and 3 days, and 4 whole days, and 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. Well, you can imagine that by now that was a lot of water, right? 10 whole days it rained. And you think it stopped then? No. It poured for 11 days, 12 days, 13 days, 14 days, 15 days, 16 days, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh my goodness. 20 whole days it rained. They were getting so tired of the rain. They're like, will this rain ever stop? But it didn't stop then. It kept raining 21 days, 22 days, 23 days, 24 days, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 days. Whoa. Do you think it stopped then? No. It kept raining 31 days, 32 days, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. You know what comes next? 40. It rained nonstop for 40 days. That's a lot of rain, isn't it? Oh my goodness, they didn't think it was ever going to stop. It rained and rained and rained for 40 days. And while it rained, the water on the ground started getting higher and higher and higher, and the ark kept floating higher and higher and higher, and the ark was now floating on the water. It had been floating around for 40 days. Can you believe that? For 40 days the ark had been floating around, and then finally the rain stopped. Whew. And the ark was just floating and floating and floating. It didn't stop floating because the water didn't go away. So they were floating and floating, and finally Noah wonders if maybe the water is getting lower. So he sent one of his doves out of the ark. He wanted to see if the dove could find out if there was any land. So the dove flew around, and pretty soon the dove came back, and Noah was so excited because you know what the dove had in his beak? He had a tree branch. And that meant that the dove found some land. He was really, really excited. So eventually, as time went on, more and more days passed, boom, the ark bumped into some land. And Noah looked up in the sky, and you know what he saw? He saw a rainbow. And God said to Noah, Noah, I promise I'm never going to have a flood like that come on this earth again. And in order to keep my promise, I'm going to put this rainbow here. And whenever you see a rainbow in the sky, that'll be a sign to you that I'm going to keep my promise, and I'll never let a flood like this happen again. I promise. Have you ever seen a rainbow? Well, when you see a rainbow, remember, the rainbow is from the story of Noah, and it's a sign of God's promise to us that God will keep us safe, especially from floods. Well, it was time for all the animals to come out of the ark. So the giraffes came out, 2 giraffes, and the zebras came out, 2 zebras. Whoops-a-daisy. The zebras came out, and the little doves flew out, and the lions came out, and the elephants came out, and the people came out. Everybody was so happy because the flood was gone, and now they could get out of that ark finally, and they could start all over again and always remember God's promise to them that that wasn't going to happen ever again. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for the story of Noah. Thank you for animals, and thank you for rainbows. Amen. If you are a child from Ascension, if you're from our nursery school or from our Sunday school, I hope that you'll take some time to go in the hallway down in the lower level of the church, and you will find some wonderful paintings on the wall that are all from this story. You'll find a lot more animals than this. Go see the painting. You'll see Noah and the ark, and you'll see the rainbow, and you'll see lots and lots of different animals, and there will be 2 of each kind. Go and see all the animals that you can find there. I'll see you next time.